Okay, hello and welcome to another Buried Egg review. This one is actually going to be more of a special report of sorts. What I'm going to be doing today is it's actually going to be a comparison and contrast between the Hasbro's brand new 6-inch Black Series Star Wars line and then the existing 6 and 7-inch scale figures that have come out over the years from other companies. Actually, to be quite honest, I tried to throw some McFarlane stuff in there in the 6-inch scale, but what this really ended up being is NECA versus Hasbro. I can't help it, and quite frankly, I think that's what most collectors, if I may speak for them, most collectors like myself have been thinking all along. As soon as Hasbro announced their 6-inch scale line, I think a lot of people who've been collecting in the 6 and 7-inch scale over the years, the first thing that piqued is, what about NECA? What about NECA? What about, how is this going to compare with the existing heavyweights that have been out there for years doing this? So my purpose in collecting in this scale over the years is because NECA and McFarlane stuff is affordable. It's all in the under $20 price range, as opposed to Hot Toys and Sideshow, where the $200 and $300 range. I like making dioramas and display shelving and nice lighting and things like that. I like going for realism, and I can't afford $200, $300 a pop. What if I want to make a Cantina diorama? I actually have a Cantina diorama in the other room, and I spent a lot of work on it. But what if I wanted to make a Cantina diorama with Hot Toys or Sideshow collectibles Star Wars figures? You know how much that would cost? A couple $100 for each figure. We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars just for the figures alone, let alone the work. Anyway, so my purpose in collecting, and I hope a lot of other collectors that collect in this scale, is these are a great, the 6-inch, 7-inch scale figures are a great alternative to get almost hyper-realistic quality without paying those $100, $200, $300 price tags. So the question we're going to try to ask and answer today with this special report is the Black Series, Hasbro's 6-inch scale Black Series, is this going to function as lines in the past have as an alternative, a viable alternative? Is this new line going to be, is the quality up to par? Is it going, especially with the price range, these are over $20, $20 a pop for just one. You're going to be army building these guys. So is this a viable alternative to the big guys, the heavyweights, Sideshow, you name it? So here we go. One area where Hasbro's 6-inch line is either equal to or even beats out NECA's 6-inch. NECA's much more experienced 6-inch line, 7-inch line actually, I should say, because some of these are 7, some are 6. Is Articulation. The head on your average NECA figure, your average modern NECA figure, is ball jointed. Let me see if I can. Well, I'm not going to pop the head off. They're pretty stiff. I can do it. I just don't want to deal with it on camera right now. But it's a ball jointed head, so there's a lot of room to make creative poses here. But here, look at this. It's a ball jointed head, right? You got a ball jointed neck, but then the neck itself rotates forward and back. You see that? So that can allow for much more emotive poses, much more dramatic, expressive poses. So if you're looking at a profile of a figure, okay, his head is up or his head is down, looking down, but there's some more emotive poses you can put him in. If a figure is slumped forward like that, see how I'm not just tilting his head down, I'm bringing his head forward and then turning it down like that. It's kind of a depressed look like that, hanging his head. See, he's kind of hanging his head low. Luke did that a lot in the first movie. Or you can turn his head up, but then push it back on that rotational joint, and it makes more of a proud or overconfident. This is kind of like tough guy here, but this little joint here, this little extra joint here, allows for a lot more emotive poses, a lot more dramatic, dramatic in the positive and the negative poses, more expression. You've got these joints in the wrists rather than ball joints. You've got the swivel, And then you've got this, it rotates on this axis as well. It's really stiff, by the way. I have to warn everybody, you're going to have to break in your joints on any of the 6-inch line. Right away I noticed you've got to break them in. Just be semi-fearless. I don't know if I want to deal with this right now. This is a tough one. Interesting, this hand, and I think all the 6-inch figures, at least him and the Sand Trooper, let me just check. I have to get back to you. Yeah, no, definitely. That's correct. All the 6-inch figures so far that I've messed with have one joint, one hand that rotates on this axis. I can't do it. It's too stiff. Oh, there we go. On this axis. And then the other hand rotates on the vertical. Let's see if I can... I really can't budge this joint right now, but I don't know how much the camera's getting here. But anyway... double jointed knees, excellent. Swivel ball socket feet with a forward and back joint as well, forward and back rotational joint. So that's about enough on articulation. I think that pretty much covers it. It's excellent stuff, excellent work on the articulation. And again, just to point out that this articulation that I've outlined here on the Luke figure is pretty much standard. It looks like it's going to be pretty much standard for the rest of at least the humanoid characters of the 6-inch line. But we really need to move on to the comparison now. And again, I apologize again for using almost exclusively NECA figurines, but that's, you know, they are quickly becoming the gold standard in this scale. So we're going to start with the Arnie character from Predator, the one human character in the Predator line, because that's what you've been looking at in this video so far, and we'll move on from there. Look, I've been collecting 6-inch figures for a long time. Here's a 6-inch figure that cost me $15, $14.99 at Toys R Us. This is from NECA. And this is not going to become a NECA commercial, don't worry. But let me see, I'm trying to hold this in range, in focus to the camera. This is supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. This looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. When I bring it close, it gets blurry. But yeah, this is a 6-inch figure worth $20. I only paid, I believe it was $14.99 at Toys R Us. Here's another 6-inch figure. That cost me, I think this was originally $12.99. This Pinhead from Hellraiser. Look at this. This is how you do rubber drapery. I don't know if you guys have seen Darth Maul yet, or just look at Luke Skywalker's pants. You know, it's good, the sculpt. I wish, you know, I should have brought a Darth Maul from the 6-inch line to show you. The Darth Maul is a perfect example of how not to do plastic or rubberized soft goods. This is rubber, and I tell you, even on camera it looks real. I know it looks real on camera. You don't have to tell me, but in person it looks real. I mean, you really need to touch it to feel that it's this soft, puffy rubber. This gown that this guy's wearing. Here, you want to see a 6-inch? For $20 for this droid. Here's a droid. Here's a. Let me tilt the camera up. This guy's kind of too big to... I want you to really see the full scale of this guy. Look at this. Look at this guy. What a menacing, you know... here, you know what? Here. This is a Terminator. You know, one of my big concerns about getting into this line is I'm going to have to troop build. I troop build everything else. I troop build all the 3.75... Star Wars line, you know, stormtroopers and stuff. Here's a sand trooper. I'm about to go out tomorrow and get a couple more sand troopers if I can find them. Well, these are $20 a pop, okay? I troop build Terminators. I love getting a bunch of these guys in my display, but that's because they're worth it, okay? Look at this. Look how posable these guys are. These T-800 skeletons. And look how detailed. You know, these mechanics, a lot of them work. The pistons, look at this. The piston on the arm. I mean, am I getting this? I don't know if the camera is... Look how the pistons and the legs all function. It's all functional. Look at the detail. The pistons on the what do you call these? Not lats. Just abdominal, whatever. Obliques. I think these are called oblique muscles on the human body. So yeah, I mean, all this stuff is practically all this stuff is functioning. The damn jaw moves. Look at that. It opens. It actually opens a lot wider than this. I'm just not going to screw around with it. Each individual tooth is sculpted. That is a $20 figure, and I believe that these were $14.99 originally in the store when I got them. I have a ton of these T800 skeletons. Here, I'm going to keep going. Sorry, but I need to make a point here. You know, everybody's fawning. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2. Okay, that really looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what we're paying for here. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 1, the young version. Is it the young version of him? The older version? They're actually different. They actually look like the young and the old, okay? Here's Luke Skywalker. You know, I'm going to get a... This is a $20 6-inch figure in Hasbro's line. I really think that all these 6-inch figures I've been showing you so far are NECA. It's a company called NECA, N-E-C-A. And don't worry, this isn't going to turn out into a NECA fanboy thing. NECA is actually, I mean, they got problems. Their quality control sucks. Every figure that you see here, I had to go through about 10 of them to find one that didn't have paint problems or sculpt problems or like broken joints right in the box. There's no quality control. That's why they're under $20. They're all made in, you know, cheap in China. I mean, all this Star Wars and everything else is made in China too, but these are made cheap in China with no quality control. The only brick and mortar store that sells NECA is Toys R Us, and you need a brick and mortar store to buy NECA toys because they're so screwed up. The majority of them have, like, the freaking hair color is painted on the skin color is painted on the hair or on the clothing, God forbid, you know. So you got to look at every single package. You order NECA stuff online, you get screwed because you can't inspect the package and make sure. So there's, you know, this isn't a NECA fanboy video, but I'm just saying. I mean, look at this is not Luke. This is close to Luke Skywalker. It's good. But, I mean, is it better? Is it an improvement over the 3.75-inch line? I don't think so. Look, this is Luke from the Vintage Collection. This is what's widely considered by the collector community the definitive Dagobah crash landing Luke Skywalker. Here's, this should be a similar face. In fact, if you want, I'll go one better. Here, fine. Here's what I think is considered the definitive X-Wing pilot in the 3.75-inch line. This is Saga Collection, not Vintage Collection. But it's Saga Vintage, I mean the packaging. Anyway, I mean, and you get all the same stuff with this as you get with this. You get a lightsaber and a gun. This guy gets a lightsaber and a gun, a helmet. But I mean, really look here. You know, I'm going to have to provide still photographs. Really look here. Is this face on this guy that much less detailed? I don't think so, than this face. I almost think this is a better likeness. You know, so, I mean, the whole point of making 6-inch, for me, the whole point of making a 6-inch line is because you can afford more detail and a larger scale as opposed to 3.75. And I personally don't feel that we got that extra detail. I mean, look at the folds in the clothing. Everybody's marveling over the folds, and you can see some all the little wrinkles, and all the pockets are sculpted. Great. Yeah, they're also all sculpted on here on the 3.75 line. So, you know, even the quilting along the, let me pull away, even the quilting along the arm of the sleeve here, everything. I mean, it's all sculpted just as it is on the 6-inch line. I haven't seen an advantage yet. Look at let's take Luke Skywalker here, and we'll take Michael Bihn's character of Hicks from Aliens here. Also, so here's a NECA Aliens figure, and here's Luke Skywalker from the 6-inch Black Series line. Look at his face. That really looks. I don't know how much closer I want to get to the camera. This is going to be too close. Let's put it right about here. I mean, this looks like the actor Michael Biehn. Does this look just like the actor Mark Hamill? Doesn't this look a little more stylized? This on his own, you know, on his own, standing alone, you know, maybe you might be tempted to say, you know, what's the problem? I don't see what the problem is. But look, when you put him next to existing, more experienced sculpts, you know, more experienced 6-inch, 7-inch scale sculptors' work, look at that. I mean, that is a stark, realistic. That's not a stylized version of anything. That's not a style. That's not an artist's impression of what Arnold Schwarzenegger, circa 1980, 81, 82, whatever the movie was made. That's not an artist's impression of what Arnold would look like if he were in such and such situation. It's not stylized at all. it's him from that movie, you know? Is this Mark Hamill? Is this really, would you say that this shares the same level of, again, stark realism? Like, would you put this in a diorama? Like, you want to make a realistic, because I use NECA figures in dioramas. I don't see this happening yet, you know? And that's the problem that I have. I love the articulation on this guy, on all the Black Series figures, and I include R2-D2 in that. I love most of the detailing. I mean, the detailing is good, you know? But the face, I mean, the hair, is this really, are we kidding here? Is this some, I mean, here, I'll just grab someone at random. Here's the Arnie character. Here's Arnie's hair from Predator. And then here's Luke Skywalker's hair. This is the same light brown paint job with yellow highlights that people were raving about when the Resurgence of the Jedi 3.75 Luke Skywalker came out, which is considered the definitive farm boy Luke. Remember Resurgence of the Jedi Luke with those? I should have had it out here as an example, but you know, this same kind of sculpt. The hair is kind of it's not fine sculpted strands of hair. And that's okay for a 3.75, but when you get to the 6-inch you know, scale, come on, man. Here, where is he? Here's another Arnie. Look at that. You know, I mean, it's not up to the level of Sideshow or Hot Toys where they're using what looks like practically like real human hair, but it's at the level of something in the under $20 range, you know. I think that there's a kind of animated series look about the new 6-inch scale figures. Again, that stylized look. It just lacks that stark realism that other lines have brought out at this scale. I mean, this is Peter Weller. This is RoboCop, again from NECA, and that's Peter Weller's face kind of peeking out there. Look at his lips. They're not expressing anything but what he expressed in the movie. There's no, I don't know, the Luke Skywalker is the only real facial model we have so far. And to me, it looks kind of pastel-y. And the newer reveal photos that are coming out, slowly but surely, of Han Solo, of Princess Leia in her ridiculous slave outfit, you know, they all look like this pastel, sort of softened look, that softened, sort of muted face. This 3.75 Dagobah landing character, his face has more of that stark realism that I was talking about. The non-stylized look, more of a movie look than the 6-inch. You know, I mean, look at that face. He looks serious. You could pose him in any pose, and he look like he means that pose. I hate to, you know, I mean, look at some of the sculpts that we've got going on here. And it's not just NECA. I even threw some McFarlane stuff. Here's 6 or 7-inch scale, I forget, McFarlane's The Thing series. I mean, look how much you got for under $20 range. Look at, you got this. This is all one kit here. This is the Norris Thing from the defibrillation scene in The Thing. You got this human head with spider legs, and then you got the full version as well, all in one package. Here's the Blair Thing. I mean, look at this, is a towering beast, you know. The RoboCop, again, they got these moving pistons, just like with the Terminator figures. And I can go on and on about this stuff, but I just don't feel that this 6-inch line is delivering at the level that it's priced at compared to existing 6 or 7-inch lines. You know, it's not just more plastic being given to us in these older more experienced lines, but it's more detail, better sculpting. You know, again, the articulation is right there. You know, I think they're head to head with the articulation. I just feel that Hasbro feels kind of late to the party. You know what I mean? It's almost as if, like when NECA started doing their thing, they stole some sculptors from McFarlane. They brought experienced people over to do the job from the get-go. They were a new company, but they brought people who are experienced in that scale and that field already. Has Hasbro done that? I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it. It almost feels like I don't know, like Hasbro. They did the research, but they're new to the party, a little late to the party, and they're kind of butting into somewhere where I don't know if they belong just yet. And that brings me to some of my my other concerns. The way we collect Star Wars, I say we, meaning myself, the rest of the Star Wars collecting community, if I can count myself as one of them. You collect Star Wars, you collect it like crazy. That's how it works. You don't sort of collect Star Wars. You get variants. You've got endless variants and revisions of characters. There'll be a new definitive version released a year after the same thing. Anyway, the point is, if I'm going to collect this line, I'm going to really collect it. I'm going to start redoing all of my dioramas, my Jabba's palace, the cantina, all of it, redoing it all in this scale. Is it worth it? So far, I don't see it. So far, I don't see it. I do like this stuff, and I'll explain why in a minute. I want to get over the negative stuff, and then get to the positive. But right now, I don't see an advantage. Take a look at these two R2-D2s. If I put one closer than the other, so the smaller one is closer than the larger one, so they almost appear to be the same size, right? Do you see any difference in detail? Here we go again. Let's do it again. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I'll provide a still shot. I mean, look. You see what's going on here? Let's see. Here we are again. Look. I think I'm gonna do some still shots and provide them as well. Look at that. Do you see an advantage? I mean, it's just bigger. That's all it is. The 6-inch scale is simply bigger. It's not more detailed. It's not better sculpts, not better painting. It's better articulation, that's for sure. But is it worth starting over a new line? Another reason I am comparing NECA and McFarlane toys at this scale to Star Wars. Another reason is because NECA and McFarlane, they didn't have 3.75 scale figures that we collected for years and years, decades. Star Wars, we've got a 3.75 line already that we've all been collecting for decades. It has. You're going to bring a 6-inch scale line in on us. Okay, it better be so good that we're going to want to actively spend the money and the time to replace our entire old collection. I mean, that's how collecting is with Star Wars. It's not, a half and half, a halfway thing. But yeah, as of right now, I hate to say it, but I guess I have to say it. I wish NECA had been engaged by Hasbro. I wish Hasbro had just simply engaged NECA to do Star Wars. That's how I feel right now. So far, I hate saying so far too, because adding so far means they would, it sounds like I'm hoping for them to revise the existing stuff that's already out in the line, revise it so I can go out and repurchase it, make it all better, listen to my complaints, anyway. But so here's the things that I do like about it. I'll say this much. When I went to Target to pick up my 6-inch Black Series, the woman on the phone, who, of course, if you know anything about Target, the older woman on the phone who answered 2 times that day, I called 2 times to ask if they had them in. Both times she said, no, we don't have anything like that in. And of course, I drive over there because I know they have it. And there, the guy in the electronics counter pulls them out. He'd been hiding them all day. How nice is that? But yeah, she came up. The woman I was talking to on the phone. Again, I point out that she's an older woman. She's not necessarily a Star Wars action figure fan. She took one look at these, and the Black Series 6-inch in their boxes, and said, "Whoa!" And the next thing you know, and she's like, I might have to buy some of these." And the next thing, and she wasn't being cute. I know what you may be thinking, but no, she was serious. Maybe she's talking about a grandkid or something. But the next thing you know, a bunch of people, a bunch of customers are hanging around looking at them. Just regular average Joes, not Star Wars fans. they really are attractive, you know. And I think the reason, you know, with all my complaining and stuff that I just did, I think one of the big reasons is there's just a certain, like a tactile sensation handling these larger format figures. You know, it's nice, these little guys, but the same level of detail as these little guys, but just simply larger. If there's just something appealing to handling the larger weapons, they may not be more detailed. In fact, they're kind of crummy. I mean, look at this weapon. They left the seams on R2's dome. I mean, what the hell is that? Look, I forgive it on the smaller figure, the seam and on the half shell of his dome, but a seam on the 6-inch scale? Are you kidding? You know? So yeah, the lack of extra detail aside, I think there's something about them just being this big. It's just satisfying to handle them. That's the only thing I can come up with. But I tell you, there was a crowd of no one there looked like a big Star Wars fan or was talking like a big Star Wars fan when I was picking these up from Target. But there's just something attractive about these things. Maybe it's all the plethora of accessories that are right there up front in the window of the packaging. I don't know. But everybody knew right away, we're not looking at the old Star Wars toys. We're looking at something new, you know, and it was really attractive. So there's hope, you know. Gosh, do I want to really repurchase all this stuff in a 6-inch scale and start redoing my dioramas? I mean, I don't see a benefit. I do dioramas for the realism, man. I do them I like to recreate the lighting with LEDs, I mean, the whole 9 yards, and I don't know. The debate is still out for me on these. So in the end, what are we paying for? What are we paying $20 a pop for? I think, well, my observation, I'll say, is that we're paying for the Star Wars name. We love Star Wars, and we're paying extra for the name. You know, don't call it something it's not. Don't call it something else. We all know it. What have I just shown you? I mean, what have you just seen with your own eyes? You know, don't call it something it isn't. It is what it is. I mean, look, I'm buying them. I'm still buying them. You see, obviously. The only difference is I'm not going to BS myself about it, you know, about the quality. Everybody's fawning over the detail, the sculpt, the attention to detail, and the paint applications, and this and that. And what did you just see in the comparison? I mean, you know. So really, let's be honest about it. You know, we don't have to hate. You can hate if you want the figures. You know, you can stop collecting them. I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm still on the fence, obviously, but let's just call it what it is. Okay. I really hope that this helped. I really hope that this review / comparison / shootout helped. Anyway, thanks for watching.